1. I refused to give up my plane seat. I was flying home from a vacation. I specifically paid extra for an aisle seat towards the front of the plane because I have a bit of anxiety about flying and need easy access to the bathroom and to the plane quickly. After I got settled, a man with a young kid maybe 4 or 5 approached me. He explained that his wife and other child were sitting a few rows back, and he was in a middle seat in my row. He asked if I would be willing to switch seats with his wife so they could all sit together. I politely said no. I explained that I'd paid extra for this specific seat. The man sighed heavily and said, "It's a 4-hour flight. Can't you just help a family out?" His wife then came up and started giving me a dirty look. The flight attendant got involved and asked if I'd be willing to move to the wife's seat, a middle seat near the back of the plane. I again said no. For the entire flight, I could feel them glaring at me. The kid was crying on and off, and the parents were making loud comments about some people having no compassion. I felt awful the whole time. I told my friend about it afterward, and she said I was within my rights, but that it was kind of a jerk move not to help a stressed family. I know it was inconvenient for them, but I feel like I shouldn't be made to feel guilty for wanting what I paid for. 2. My sister-in-law hit my son and called him fatherless. I had a work conference on Saturday last week, so I left my 5-year-old son with my brother and his wife. When I got back Sunday morning, picked him up and driving home, asked him his highlight and lowlight. His lowlight was that she hit me on the face. I was irate. Did a U-turn and confronted her, and she didn't even attempt to deny it. This stupid woman started saying that he was talking back to her and wasn't eating his dinner she home cooked for him. I tried to follow how this led to her slapping him, and all she said was that he needs discipline, I'm a bad mother, etc. My brother was just sitting there, watching her spew this nonsense, and looked at me like I was crazy when I yelled back at her. He started saying I should leave, calm down. Meanwhile his wife is insulting me, and my child. Then she said because he is fatherless he needs punishment to grow up. This pseudo-trad wife, unemployed, new-age Christian crunchy bitch is lecturing me. I started yelling top of my lungs, swearing. My son was also there and looked scared. Eventually we left, but as I went I told her she would never see us again. She's a stupid tarded up little mall. Bad things. I regret what I said because now that's become the focus rather than the hitting of my son. Then mom called, and now said that even though my sister-in-law shouldn't have hit him, I should still be grateful, as she took care of him when I was away. I'm sorry, but that gratitude went away when she called him fatherless in my opinion. Now I'm the somewhat bad guy. Am I overreacting, or is my sister-in-law psycho? 3. Am I overreacting for not wanting to go to my sister's wedding? My sister's wedding is a month from now, and I'm having second thoughts about going. But not for the reasons you would think. Me and her have a decent relationship. We get along well, and her fiancé is a guy that I really like, and I am very happy for them. Keep in mind this wedding isn't her actual wedding, it's a courtroom wedding. But I'm just not in a good place mentally. I know this is all going to sound like a huge stretch, but hear me out. Currently I am on pre-trial release for a felony charge that could put me away for a long time. Long story short, someone dragged me out of my car and was beating me until I defended myself, and they almost died in the process. A gun was not used, and even though I thought stand your ground laws would protect me here, they clearly haven't, as it's been almost 2 years I've been stuck in this hole. The state still wants a conviction with all the facts they have, and I've been in and out of courtrooms, dealing with PTR officers, my attorney, state attorneys, and psychologists. Still waiting for a stand your ground hearing. That being said, a courtroom setting is just not a very comfortable setting for me right now. But I have this overwhelming sense of guilt because her real wedding is being held in Mexico in November. And I'm not even allowed to leave the state, much less the country, so I won't be able to attend that either. This is where I feel I'm overreacting the most, but it's still very painful to me. I am not the healthiest man on the planet. I have some very serious health issues that has shortened my life expectancy by a lot. And all I want in my life more than anything is to find love. Someone to come home to every night, grow old with. And I just don't see that in my cards anymore. Especially with my current legal situation. So seeing my sister get married and be with a very good man, the start to her life that I'll most likely never get, makes me feel empty inside. Like even through all the tears about my own life, I want to push through and be there for her, and see her on her special day, but at the same time, I just don't know if I can. 4. Dead friendship, or am I just overreacting? I've known this girl since 6th grade. We're both 23 now, part of a friend group of 4, and for privacy, I'll use aliases. Me, D, and M have known each other since 6th grade. D and M go way back to elementary school. S joined our high school in 9th grade, and we became especially close in junior year. During the pandemic, which was our senior year, our bond grew even stronger. It's been the 4 of us ever since. Over the summer, M randomly went on a social media cleanse break. Since July 31st, I haven't had any communication with her. We used to have a TikTok streak, but on August 8th she stopped sending TikToks, even though she was active on the app posting content. Our streak eventually broke, after I used up all 4 revives. I texted her about it, and got no response. The last text I sent her was on August 14th, and that also went unanswered. She broke our streak, stopped replying to my messages, and completely aired me out. The only reason I think I might be the only one she's doing this to is because he mentioned having conversations with her. I didn't bring it up, just noticed. S also took a social media break around the same time, but we stayed in contact. In fact, S and M went on breaks at the same time at the end of July. Yet the only one I feel unsettled about is M, because the way she's been acting feels really snaky and slimy. What's confusing is that she's still very active on Instagram, Locket, TikTok, and other platforms. She didn't unfollow me, hasn't stopped sharing her location, and still follows me on multiple socials. I ended up muting her, restricting her from seeing my posts, and deleting her number. On top of that, I've noticed over time that 3 of them have gone out multiple times without ever inviting me. I first started noticing this in 2022, and it's kept happening. The only reason I even know they were together is because they blatantly posted. At first, I thought I was imagining things, but then I'd see the same location posted by 2 or 3 of them on Locket, Snapchat, or Instagram. Never once was an invitation extended to me, which makes this whole situation feel even worse. I've never confronted them about it, because the first time I did, the excuse was that I was going through something personal, and they thought it'd be best to leave me alone. It feels weird and kind of gaslighty, because if I blocked them outright, I'd look like the hostile one. I refuse to reach out to her. I feel unsettled, and don't know what to make of this dynamic. I've never had this happen before. Has anyone else experienced this? Is this some weird form of ghosting, or something else? If so, why drag it out this long? Drop your thoughts in the comments, like, and subscribe to keep receiving these kind of posts.